Hello, welcome to GatsbyConf 2022. My name is Dustin Schau, and I'm the VP of Engineering at Gatsby. Today, I'm proud to be here to represent the team building the fastest front end for the headless web. As Chris said, it really is a truly fantastic time to be a web developer, and websites have not only gotten good, they've gotten amazing. They've gotten amazing because of what you all are building with Gatsby. Today, I'd like to highlight why websites have gotten amazing, what Gatsby has done, is doing, and will always be doing to keep them amazing, and provide just a bit of a glimpse into the future for how we think about improving in 2022 and beyond. With that said, enough talk, let's get to it. We hear all the time that one of the central reasons that users choose Gatsby is because of its speed. We believe that the future and the present is fast. Well, yeah, this sounds nice. What does fast really mean? Well, let's unpack the facets of fast and how we think of the key stakeholders in building the modern web, where speed isn't an afterthought, it's the primary consideration. As a developer, you want to confidently choose a tool that helps you get up and running quickly, easily, and the project shipped to production as quickly as possible. You choose Gatsby to help you get farther, faster, to build a working proof of concept in less time than it takes to mock up the wireframe. But why? What inherently about Gatsby helps you create more quickly? You do so because of our massive 3,000 plus plugin ecosystem, and specifically our source plugin ecosystem, which makes sourcing data from any CMS a snap. Gatsby is more opinionated than other frameworks, and these opinions, conventions, and pluggable architecture enable you to build sophisticated, complex use cases quickly. Want a quick start on a progressive web app? Gatsby has a plugin for that. Want to add analytics tracking in just a few lines of code? Gatsby has a plugin for that. Want to add a sitemap and RSS functionality? There's a plugin for that too. Want to source data from your CMS of choice? Oh yes, Gatsby has several plugins for that. The beating heart of this plugin ecosystem is our thriving source plugin ecosystem, many of whom are here today. Let them know what's great. Let them know what could be improved. But ultimately, one of the key things that makes Gatsby tick is this thriving source plugin ecosystem, as I said, so that you can leverage this to get farther faster and build a great proof of concept super quickly. As a content editor, or broadly as a member of the marketing team, you want to deliver engaging, beautiful content that connects with your audience, helps you tell your story, and ultimately helps your business move faster. As a team using Gatsby, you want to be able to confidently publish new content and changes to production. Whether it's a draft, a new feature, or production published content, you want it delivered to your users as quickly and seamlessly as possible. Ultimately, why are we doing all of this? Why does the explosive growth of the Jamstack matter? It's about the user. Users expect high-performance websites, websites that are fun to use, engaging, regardless of where they're at, regardless of what device they're using. Gatsby exists to ensure that all of these stakeholders are delighted in their choice of using Gatsby. Teams choose Gatsby because it's the fastest front end for the headless web. Ultimately, these key facets of fast coalesce into not four things, but one thing, and that thing is Gatsby. When we think about these key elements of speed, I also think of the key personas at play in creating the modern website and what their needs are in building out their web experience. These are the key determinants of the stakeholders building the headless web. Editors expect a quick, seamless editing experience in their CMS, where they're able to see their vision come to life. Developers create this vision on time and ahead of schedule. Well, most of the time. Finally, teams deploy their vision after editing, creating, and good old collaborative back and forth. This Venn diagram, this intersection between editing, deploying, and creating, that's Gatsby. That's our relentless pursuit in 2022 and beyond to keep widening this sweet spot, to polish the experience for each stakeholder, and to enable you to build your vision of the web more seamlessly, easily, and you guessed it, quickly. Don't just take my word for it. Let's show the end user impact to all of these key stakeholders, review some metrics and data, and talk about how Gatsby uniquely enables teams to deliver on this need for speed. And ultimately, the usage and the real-world results say far more than I can say myself. More companies are using Gatsby each and every day, whether it's for their documentation or blog, their company landing pages, e-commerce sites of increasing sophistication and scale, or something else entirely. We're so thankful and excited to have all of these great companies, Fortune 1000 to high-growth startups and everything in between, using Gatsby, succeeding with Gatsby, and thriving with Gatsby. I'm just a little biased, but you should join them if you haven't already. JD, you want to hand me my laptop so we can go through some recent sites built with Gatsby?
Of course.
So I wanted to give a high-level primer of some of the recent websites we've seen that have really impressed us on the Gatsby team. So first is Polestar. Polestar is an electric vehicle manufacturer with a truly impeccable website and a Super Bowl ad that generated some serious traffic for their business. Their teams built a super engaging website that helps you peruse their different electric vehicle models in a way that sparks joy. These are the kinds of rich web experiences that you can build with Gatsby to make your business really stand out. Next is Arcane from Riot Games. Arcane from Riot Games is up for a whole host of awards and is built with modern technologies like WebGL and, of course, Gatsby. These are the kinds of experiences that help Riot Games stand out from the pack and deliver the content-rich websites that their business needs. High-performing startup teams like Calendly choose Gatsby to help their teams tell their story. That resulting website, rock solid. No matter whether a viral tweet drives traffic or exciting product launches, Gatsby and their site and their business hums along. Finally, crypto. It's all the rage, and the new Crypto.com is built with Gatsby. As Matt Damon says, fortune does favor the brave, and we're happy to have sites like Crypto built with Gatsby. Thank you. And what do all of these websites have in common? They're engaging, content-rich, and highly performant. Remember that sweet spot? Teams increasingly choose Gatsby to build their vision when they need highly collaborative workflows, content editors and developers and teams seamlessly building, previewing, and working together to build something amazing. Gatsby is their Swiss Army knife that they use from project to project. Let's shift gears just a bit. I've talked a lot about fast, but let's revisit fast to use. The end user is who matters most when we're building Gatsby websites. We all want to deliver engaging experiences, but all too often, in pursuit of these engaging experiences, of that just one more tracking script, we lose sight that it's the end users at the end of the day who make our business tick. But this raises the question, what's the business case for fast? Why has Jamstack seen such rapid adoption? Why does fast matter really? The modern web experience has been stuffed into a sometimes ill-fitting box. In the pursuit of engaging, in the pursuit of amazing, we ship a lot of content to end users on slow devices, on fast devices, on mobile devices, on desktop devices. We're asking users to download oftentimes megabytes of data. The median website size serves nearly 1 megabytes of images and nearly 500 kilobytes of JavaScript, tracking scripts, analytics scripts, and more. This adds up. There's a real cost to end users in shipping more content. Our friends at Google and elsewhere recognize this need for speed. For quite a long time now, the Google team has been helpfully sharing some resources, whether it's Lighthouse reports baked into Chrome. And now we've recognized that the best measures of performance are real user-focused metrics, and thus Core Web Vitals. I like to think of these as the holy triumvirate of performance-focused metrics. If you leave with 3 takeaways, take these. Largest contentful paint, first input delay, and cumulative layout shift. These are metrics that you should understand, as I'll explain why in just a moment, because Google now uses these metrics to rank your site and display search results prioritized by sites that truly are faster. The business case? If you want your website, your content, your business to show up before your competitors, don't solely focus on building a great product, a great experience, delightful content. Focus on speed, because there's a real return on investment in prioritizing the need for speed. The top 1,000 websites score meaningfully higher in these Core Web Vital metrics because Google helps prioritize their results. It's somewhat obvious, but worth restating for concreteness. Building a high-performance website has a real meaningful impact on your business. But it's very, very, very not easy. We hear from teams all the time about how much of a struggle it is to not only build an amazing high-performance website, but maintain a high-performance website. What sufficed 1 year ago does not suffice 1 month ago, does not suffice 1 day ago. Well, I'm exaggerating just a bit, but the point remains. From Phil Walton, an engineer on the web platform team at Google, the metrics that make up Core Web Vitals, the holy triumvirate, will change over time. Score thresholds, potentially even the specific metrics themselves. And this creates an opportunity for your team to make good, performance-conscious choices like using Gatsby. But don't just take my word for it. Gatsby scores significantly higher relative to other web frameworks, and we're continuing to get better, and we're never content. Performance is in our DNA, it's in our very nature, the decoupled web, the performant web, and it's not just keeping a lead, but widening it. That's what gets us going each and every day. As an example of our focus on speed and evolution, last March, we shipped Gatsby Plugin Image, which improved runtime performance for all Gatsby sites and improved the user experience for all users. As a result of this work, we, and thus Gatsby users, were early adopters of next-generation image formats like AVIF. What did this lead to? Of the sites using AVIF, nearly 30% are powered by Gatsby. To stay ahead of Core Web Vitals, to keep improving, Gatsby is your Swiss Army knife. Core Web Vitals change, but you can rest assured that we're always cracking the next thing for your secret weapon Gatsby, the tool that helps you keep up and innovate with the rapid pace of innovation happening in the modern web. To give a concrete example, a recent customer, WaveDirect, exemplifies the results that a modernization project like Gatsby can deliver for their business. May to July, They were not using Gatsby, and relatively few of their URLs were being listed because their site wasn't performing like they expected. They switched to Gatsby, and, well, the uptick speaks for itself. Choosing a tool like Gatsby can help transform your business and give you a leg up on your competitors. You may be wondering, well, why? What specifically about Gatsby enables teams to deliver such fast websites? It's in our very nature. Gatsby enables a better web, a decoupled web, a static web. We have launched more dynamic functionality, and we will continue to evolve and iterate to blend the best pieces from both camps. But we still hold, we will always hold, that the static web is the way that the web should be built. It performs better, it works better, it is better. The ultimate root why is that it's simpler. Yes, you may be saying, Dustin, Gatsby uses GraphQL and Node, and isn't it just an SSG? All this for an SSG? Well, yes, but actually, more importantly, no. Gatsby uses complex technologies. Stick around for Kyle's talk this afternoon on specific technical reasons for why. But the end result of what we produce, the core architecture of Gatsby, is simpler, more fault-tolerant, more secure, and a fundamentally better way to build for the web. Your CMS may go down, your server may go down, your API may go down. Your site never goes down ever. The static web is a simpler web, a faster web, and a better model, and the data supports it. All that said, I know why you're really here. What's new? What's coming? What's the latest, the greatest, and beyond? Well, I am proud to announce some product launches. But first, let's talk a little bit about some recent developments, some data about the excellent year 2021 was truly for the Gatsby user, and then we'll get to the latest and beyond. The greatest framework and cloud product around for the headless web. I'll start with some updates on Gatsby, the open source framework, and then shift into cloud to show how we've scaled and how we've improved in 2021. Ultimately, both of these help set context for what we're doing and launching today, how far we've come, and how bright the future for the Gatsby user truly is. In October 2021, we launched our most exciting release of Gatsby yet, 4.0. And in the last few months, we launched 4.1, and 4.2, and 4.3, and 4.4, and oh my gosh, you get the idea. We have and continue to launch a new release of the best-in-class open source framework for the headless web every 2 weeks. If you happen to miss the memo on 4.0, we launched 2 new exciting rendering modes, SSR and DSG, that enable you to build your vision of the web without compromise. SSR, or server-side rendering, for when you really need it. Truly dynamic, personalized content, no sweat. Gatsby's got your back. Further still, we launched DSG, a just-in-time rendering mode that renders collections of pages based upon a user requesting that page. Don't let the Jamtax get you down. Build with DSG, and defer the pages that can wait and then be cached and made available for all users without a significant cost to your build time. These exciting releases have led to many of you updating, as well as building net new sites with Gatsby 4. In Gatsby Cloud, over 80% of new sites are now created with Gatsby 4. 12,000 new sites have been created since launch, and in aggregate, over 60% of sites are now using Gatsby 4. I ask you, why haven't you upgraded yet? If you're hanging around tomorrow, be sure to attend Haled and Mihal's workshop. They'll supply you with a bunch of tips and tricks and real-world examples of teams who have upgraded so that you can perform the upgrade. It's easier than you may think. And ultimately, the latest and greatest is always just an NPM install away. Check out our migration guides, and most customers are able to migrate in just a few hours. And yes, you can certainly skip versions, so if you're on Gatsby 2, it's possible to upgrade to 4 directly. Just read the guides. Again, don't just take my word for it. Here's a recent testimonial from the ecobee team who recently upgraded to 4.7. The ecobee team says, okay, holy crap, it's just absurd how much faster it is. 170 seconds for a cold build on 4.7. That's significantly faster than our main branch on V3. This is what the ecobee team was able to realize just by upgrading, just by NPM installing to the latest and greatest. For cloud, we have significant usage and significant volume. We're serving demanding customers and meeting and exceeding their needs. In 2021, nearly 10 million builds, 35,000 new sites, more than 2.5 million previews, and 2 million deploys. In aggregate, we've spent 71 years building Gatsby sites. With this usage, with this volume, we are learning how to scale Gatsby to all of these use cases and the next one too. You choose Gatsby Cloud because we're the Gatsby specialists, and this volume, this usage, is how we learn, improve, and get even better. In the last 90 days, we've seen an influx of usage to our cloud platform. You and your users throughout the globe are generating some serious scale for our burgeoning cloud platform. 70 terabytes of data transferred through our CDN, 3.6 million successful builds, and 2 billion, yes with a B, billion, requests to your websites hosted with Gatsby Cloud. We have real volume of scaled usage, demanding customers, and we're meeting and exceeding those needs with our cloud product. What speaks to this volume? We've quietly been making cloud rock solid, and one such key example is the stability of our CMS Preview product. If you've used it a year ago, or even in the past few months, check it out again. It's getting truly amazing, and we have another exciting launch today that I'll get to in just a bit. And quality is composed of not just stability, but also speed. In 2021, we made sweeping improvements to how we deploy your sites, and these deployments led to monumentally improved publishing experiences for you and your teams. As an example, in early May, our site would take up to 2 minutes to deploy. Now, roughly 10 seconds. And then finally, the speed that matters oftentimes to you and your teams most, build speed. A recent third-party benchmarking analysis was performed where Gatsby Cloud went head-to-head with other Jamstack providers, and the numbers ultimately do speak for themselves. If you want the fastest, the most stable, the most reliable experience in any cloud, you come to Gatsby Cloud, the platform for which Gatsby was designed. But what have you done for me lately? That voice in the back of your mind cannot be silenced. Well, we've been up to a thing or two, and I'm excited to represent the team who has helped build them. This will be a quick, rapid-fire set of announcements, and then stick around to hear directly from the teams that built them in later sessions from Joel, Patrick, Jack, Catherine, and more. First, let's focus on cloud. We've recognized that larger and larger teams are picking Gatsby Cloud for its best-in-class build speed, CMS Preview product, and ultimately our entire product suite. But these larger teams have more demanding needs, and we're excited to today launch several features for larger teams. Specifically, on-premise GitHub support, an enterprise feature allowing users to source sites on Gatsby Cloud from self-hosted Git connectors. GitLab, coming soon. Private IP and reverse proxy. For teams incrementally migrating or behind a firewall or VPN, you can now leverage Gatsby Cloud for your team's needs. Finally, advanced redirect support, including geographic and language-based redirects. But we're not done yet. Let's talk a little bit about the framework. 3 specific releases to highlight. TypeScript support. We hear you developers loudly and clearly, and you love TypeScript. We've supported TypeScript for authoring for the last few years, but now we support using TypeScript for your entire Gatsby configuration. TypeScript, all the things. Trailing slashes, a long-standing pain in the Jamstack. To trailing slash or not to trailing slash. We enable you and your teams to choose, and now with support at the framework and within Gatsby Cloud, your teams choose and no more duplicate content warnings. Finally, CMS starters for some key CMSs so that you can get up and running with the proof of concept as quickly as possible. I want to highlight CMS homepage starters in particular. These are a brand new set of beautifully designed CMS starters for Contentful, WordPress, Drupal, Dado CMS, and Sanity coming soon. We've found these are particularly great if you're an agency or if you have some client work and you want to get up and running lickety-split. Check out our new CMS starters and stick around for later talks for even deeper dives. Finally, today has been quite heavily focused on the need for speed. We're never content. Remember that graph I shared earlier with deploy times and the average being roughly 10 seconds? Well, 10 seconds is good, but you know what's better than 10 seconds? Nearly instant deploys. Today, we're excited to launch the beta availability of incremental deploys for CMS Preview. Just like with incremental builds, this architectural improvement will enable your deploys to be nearly instant by only uploading to our best-in-class CDN what changes, no more and no less. What does this mean for you? Faster builds, nearly instant builds, and nearly instant previews depending upon the scale of your site. As an example, GatsbyJS.com has roughly 8,000 pages and previously took a little over 10 seconds to deploy. Now, deploys take just 500 milliseconds. You choose Gatsby because these are the gaps we care most about. We achieve fast, and then our next question is, but how can we go faster? 10 seconds is good, but you know what's better? Instant. If you care about the gaps, if your team has a need for speed, come check out Cloud and our latest features. We're getting freaky fast. If you've been listening astutely, you've likely caught some high-level themes today. That of speed, that of developer experience, that of editor experience, that of deployment experience. These are the problems that we're always pursuing. This intersection between editor experiences, between developer experience and creating, between teams deploying, this is what we care about most and what we continuously pursue. Specifically, in the next 6 months, you should expect a new version of Gatsby that doubles down on performance and developer experience. You should expect improved versions of source plugins that strengthen their utility in Gatsby Cloud and deepen the functionality of our GraphQL data layer. You should expect more and more powerful starters. You should expect speed. You should expect editor improvements. You should expect us to make this sweet spot ever sweeter because you choose Gatsby, the fastest front end for the headless web. Finally, I'd like to say a simple...
Dustin, what about that other thing?
Oh, right. There's something hot off the presses. That's right. One more thing. Today, we're proud to continue to strengthen our lead with our best-in-class image experience in Gatsby and Gatsby Cloud. We already launched Gatsby Plugin Image in March 2021, and today we're excited to announce our new image CDN, where images are transformed at the edge instead of at build time. What does this mean for you? It means no build time cost for optimizing images, and because these are hosted from the same origin as our hosting product, you should expect significant runtime performance improvements, particularly targeted at improvement in core web vitals. Image CDN is available in beta today. Check out the latest and greatest and let us know what you think. But wait, there's more. Stay tuned to the rest of these great talks. The real professionals, the folks doing the work, and the folks building some of the greatest and most amazing Gatsby sites around. Finally, I'd like to say a simple thank you to the team building Gatsby, to the teams building with Gatsby, and to all of you for what you'll build next. We appreciate your interest, we appreciate your support, and your users most of all appreciate you for building with Gatsby. We can't wait to see what you'll build next, and we're confident it'll be built with Gatsby. Thank you.
Don't miss the live Q&A coming up now.